I always tell you guys, you can honestly change your entire situation as a failing franchise in 1 or 2 drafts. You just need to get it right. If I was to manage a team, I would literally, the biggest thing that I would do is amass the best hockey draft minds that you could and just try to nail like 2 or 3 drafts in a row and try, hopefully, to just get elite players, because that is what changes your franchise. And honestly, draft picks a lot of the time are just lottery tickets, right? Now, that's not completely true. You still need, great guys that find, steals in the second and third round, and Calgary Flame has done that, especially in the late first round. But we're going to be talking about the direction of the Calgary Flames organization in this video. Welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you can make sure to hit that subscribe button, it'd be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It is very humbling. The Calgary Flames had better get prepared. They better have the guys that they like in the second and third round, because honestly, you need to take every single pick very, very serious. But this is what I'm talking about, man. In the first 2 rounds, the Calgary Flames have something like 6 picks. I'll put it on the screen right now. I mean, they have such a huge opportunity right now. It really is unbelievable. Let's go over it right now, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. The Flames could be making a ton of picks in Juice's NHL entry draft, close quote. I don't think they could be making a ton of picks. They will be making a ton of picks. It would be absolutely silly for this organization not to do it. The Calgary Flames are going to have to depend on the NHL entry draft more than any other team. Canadian teams especially need the NHL entry draft to get young players in their organization and show trust with these elite young players of how good and well run and a good organization these Canadian teams are. But here we go, and I'm going to put it on the screen right now. There's so many picks. First round, third overall. Now that could change, right? We don't exactly know what their first round pick is going to be right now. Let's just say it stays like that. First round, 18th overall from Vegas from the Noah Hannafin trade. Second round, another second round pick. Third round, fourth, fifth, and sixth round draft pick. Now, I will be honest. If you're talking about trades that can make a difference, I'm actually completely fine with trades where you give away lesser picks. So let's say they were to make a trade for a 4th, a 5th, or a 6th round selection for an actual NHL player. I actually wouldn't be against that, because it's so rare for a 4th, 5th, or 6th round pick to turn into anything. What I am very protective over is the first 3 rounds of any draft. Those are the draft picks that have the absolute most value. Those are when you can find stud players. And I'll tell you another thing. When we go over all of the draft picks in the second round that the Calgary Flames have, this is where it gets great, because think about it, it's going to be like 35th and 36th overall, 52nd and 54th overall. There's always going to be a bunch of players that trickle down that you're like, man, that guy could really, really be something for our organization. And honestly, if you can hit on even one of those guys in the second round, it makes a huge, huge difference. Let's take another look at Tankathon, the 2026 NHL Draft Lottery Simulator. It has changed a little bit. We have the Calgary Flames at a 474 winning percentage. They have an 11.5% chance at first overall, which is pretty darn good. I'm starting to think that they're probably not going to be able to catch the Blackhawks. If you look at the Blackhawks, they are awful, man. They're literally the worst scoring team in the entire league if you look at goals per game on average. Chicago is so bad. So I'm not really sure if they can catch them. Like, I know the Calgary Flames only have 3 more points than the Chicago Blackhawks, but I just don't see it. Man, that Chicago team is god-awful. So I think we're going to have to settle into probably 3rd overall is where we're going to be starting, and then hoping to move up from there. Now, when you go over to my NHL draft, they have Calgary drafting Ivor Stenberg. They have them drafting 2nd overall. Don't think that's going to happen. I still think that we have to prepare ourselves for the Calgary Flames, unfortunately, to drop back. We have to mentally prepare ourselves for that, because that is actually the most likely scenario, as much as we might roll our eyes at it. Now, there was one article that I came across that was talking about the NS, and take a look at this. Flame strategy at the 2026 draft will be worth watching. There were some interesting points made in the article, one that I very much disagree with. My philosophy on this channel is always going to be a swing for the fences mentality. Essentially that you just swing for the fences. If you think you have an elite player, I think that they are so hard to find that you just swing for the fences. That's just my opinion. Here's the quote that I wanted to show you guys, though. I wouldn't normally suggest this, but if Conroy is planning for his roster to contend for the playoffs in the first season of the new building opening, the Flames may need to start prioritizing positional needs rather than drafting the best player available, close quote. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to bring it back. I completely disagree with this. If you think that maybe you have too many wingers and you don't need Stenberg, I don't care about that. You draft this guy. You don't know. Again, I like Gradin. I like Rezhny. They have some really good wingers, but elite talent, and what I mean by elite talent, the 100-point guys, the 110-point guys, the 120-point guys, those guys are so rare and hard to come by in the National Hockey League that you might only get a chance to get one or maybe two of them within a 6 or 7 year draft window. Like, those guys are so hard to find. If you think that Stenberg is a elite player, I don't care if he is a 5'11" winger. You draft him, period. Just like they did with Ethan Wittenbach, okay? If you think that guy was going to be good, just draft him. Now, my goal isn't to say that NHL size doesn't matter, that size never matters in the NHL. My point is to get as many assets in the organization as you possibly can and go about it that way. I mean, size is always going to matter in the NHL, but speed matters more than ever in players that can actually play. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have size, though. I just want them to find it in a different way. I mean, again, if you think Veerhoff is the elite guy, then you draft Veerhoff. It doesn't matter. Now, if the Flames end up getting first overall, that's going to be an interesting story. If you've listened to any of my videos recently, I believe that Gavin McKenna is going to be the guy to go first overall, in my opinion. But if Vancouver ends up getting that pick, apparently they love Steenberg. Apparently they absolutely adore this guy. So again, that'll be very, very interesting to watch, because for example, if the Flames get second overall, is it possible that they could draft McKenna in that situation? Like, even though if they get the second overall pick, it's possible that they could get that player. I will always tell you guys this, it is a young man's league in the National Hockey League. That is the number one thing. It's a young man's league. Everybody completely misrepresents this. Look at the New York Rangers right now. All of a sudden they're playing good. Why? Because they called up a bunch of young guys that are working their tails off. I mean, not that young guys, it's everything, but it's a huge part of your organization. You need that youth coming in consistently, and that's going to be so important for the Calgary Flames and for ticket payers to be able to pay to watch those young players. You'll have something to watch during your rebuild. Anyways, I'm going to leave this video here. If you can make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys, and make sure to have a great day.